Hello, hello, hello again. It is me, Tequila. I just want to first and foremost say I hope that you had a truly amazing holiday season. We're still in the holiday season, and I want you to know that you are blessed beyond measure, and you are worthy, and you deserve anything that you want in this life to make your life a living reality and not to just be sitting back dreaming of what you want your life to be. You have to get out there and go out there and do it. But today I want to talk to the men and women at AGROW, Girls Right of Worth. But sometimes these tools that I give to you, men can use them too. And I want to talk today about loving somebody who has been touched. Men get touched, women get touched. Sometimes men get a pass at being touched because it's really not being touched. You know, it's a rite of passage. But for women, it's much deeper. But I just want to share and talk to you today about this very thing. So if I get a little bit emotional about this, you're going to have to bear with me. Number one, when a person who has been touched, male, female, boy, girl, young, old, it sets a ripple effect on how they will behave in the duration of their life from the moment that they have been touched. Number one, there is this guard that, and I'll say women because that's what I want to talk about, women who's been touched. And for men, to give you a little insight on how you can, to give you a new perspective on how to treat or the signs to know when she's actually going through triggers or having some type of anxiety attack concerning you. Now, some men pretty much know and can identify when a woman has been touched. And then there are some men who can't, just like some women who can tell and identify when a man has been touched. And sometimes we can't. So with that being said, I want to encourage you. I'm not saying on your first date, hey, look, this happened to me back then. That happened to me back then. Because what you don't want to do is run the person away. And then, too, you don't want to tell this special things and unique things that is these tragic things that has happened to you in your life. You don't want to tell that to somebody who's undeserving to know. But when you get in a place to where you feel like we're going higher up the ladder, it's time to have those conversations so that you can be aware and know how to deal. One thing about a woman when she's been touched, she's going to feel three things that she is going to look for and she's going to be seeking because she didn't get it. Number one, she's going to want to feel loved. Two, she's going to want to feel protected. And the most important one, she's going to want to feel understood. Like what she says matters. Even if it sounds redundant to you at that time, but it matters to her. And she needs to get that out, and you have to have a patient ear. You have to have a patient heart dealing with a man or a woman who has been touched, because at the end of the day, once you get past all those layers, there's going to be something great right there. And you may say, I shouldn't have to go through all that. I shouldn't have to work that hard. He or she should know these things. A lot of times, they don't know. Nobody ever took the time to teach them. They're still living and loving off of survival. They're loving you with a survival mentality. And it's not always the best. It's not always cool. We women have missed out on a lot of great things and great opportunities because of this very thing. And it's not that we don't love you. It's not that we don't trust you. It's the fact that we want to be understood. You know, we want to be understood. Like, this is what I was feeling when I was going through this, and I may be acting like this because of that. And it's up to you to say, I want to stay or I want to go. I don't have enough patience. And that's the best thing that you can do for a man or woman if you know you cannot handle the fragileness of this man or woman's heart. The best thing that you can do is just walk away. Hey, look, I tried. It's I can't deal with what you have going on. I can't, and it has nothing to do with you. But those are the moments where you have to truly say, I'm going to let somebody else deal with this because I can't. Because if you're sitting there trying to deal with a situation that you truly know you can't, you're going to get hurt in the long run by simply trying to do your best when you never really had the raring thaw to deal. It may be okay to say, well, look, I'm going to fall back and let you go and get yourself right, and then I'll come back and maybe we'll try that again. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But the thing of it is, she or him needs to feel like a priority. If a woman or a man who has been touched feels like they are not a priority, it brings on a whole nother beast to where him, her, me, she, you, whatever, we become overthinkers. And when you're an overthinker, it makes you see things that aren't there. It turns truths into lies because you're overthinking. You're always pricking and pinching, trying to make a person wrong when they are right, only because a touched person is used to getting the short end of the stick, used to being left behind, used to feeling like being put last, taken advantage of. So it's up to us when we're dealing with these type of people to be mindful of who they are and what they've been through with a little understanding. Now, you have some women, men, who use that as a crutch to not do better. Because this happened, I'm going to continue to do this. You know, she didn't love me. Excuse me, y'all, my sinuses. If she didn't love me like she loved me, so that just means she don't love me for real, which is not true. Everybody has a level of loving. And women, men who have been touched really don't know how to love. We want to love. We love them by the best of our ability. We love you all day. We love you all day. We say it. We mean it. With the abundance of our heart. All that we are. But the fact that no one ever taught us how to love, we missed that. It was taken away. We might can't show you that we love you. Love is quite not an action word. I said it. Why don't you just believe me? I love you. I'm doing the things that I know to do to the best of my ability. But it becomes non and void when the person who has never been touched. And we just going to say that because everybody has been touched. But let's just play along. Somebody who's never been touched, raised on love, perfect harmony, perfect peace, they're not going to understand that because they got the love, they got the action. The love was enforced. And so when it comes to that, you never truly is going to be that clash because, yeah, I hear you say you love me, but why you ain't do this? Why this ain't going on? Why do I feel like you don't love me? You're not showing me that you love me. And the touched is crying out because it causes an alarm for panic, because you feel like you're saying and doing it. You know you loving them. You feel it in your heart. You feel it from the depths of your soul. You know, when you think about love, you think about this person. You hear a certain song, you think about this person. And it's just not meshing well. It takes patience to deal with somebody who has been broken. When you're a girl who has been broken and somebody has came in and invaded your privacy, your innocence, you grow up thinking that everybody is going to invade your privacy and your innocence. But you got to get to a point to where it doesn't affect you anymore. And the only way you can do that is to face it. You have to go back, look in the mirror. Hey, I know this happened to me. And I know Johnny May Cash did this to me. But that don't mean Steven Seagal gonna do it to me. Because Steven is showing me nothing but love, hope, aspirations. You know, there's no such thing as too good to be true. Take that too good to be true as I'm blessed. Stop looking at all the signs, red flags that you created. Ain't no red flag. You just created it because of what you've been through in your past. You may call. Person may not answer. When you finally get to this person, I was asleep. Well, you may in the back of your head, well, when I called Johnny May Cash, and he told me he was asleep, he really was laying in the bed with somebody else. Well, just because Johnny May Cash didn't value you enough to love you for real with everything, I don't mean that man doing that. Don't mean that woman doing that. So we got to learn to value the people who have been touched. Because I'm going to leave y'all with this. People who have been touched who have had the worst lives, the worst hands dealt to them, are some of the greatest achievers, are some of the greatest entrepreneurs, are some of the greatest people, greatest spirits, greatest hearts, greatest minds in the world. But yet, so overlooked, so unloved, so unprotected, and so misunderstood. If you out there in the world have dealing with, or you are someone who has been touched, patience, time, commitment, and effort. If you can't do those things, or feel like it's a waste of time, don't damage that person any more than they have already been damaged. Because what's going to happen is you'll get out there and you'll find somebody and you'll love them for real, not knowing that they've been touched. And you'll have to pay the price of karma for that which you've inflicted on the touched. And it'll be the biggest portion of humble pie that you'll ever have. So be mindful of people, be mindful of their feelings, and love for one another. If you don't do nothing else, just shower them with unconditional love. Let them know they are appreciated. Never, never, never make them feel less than, because they felt less than a vast majority of their lives. They felt underappreciated for a vast majority of their lives. They've been living trying to please people and make people happy. the vast majority of their lives. So if you can't lift them, encourage them, motivate them, get them to see, then back away. And even if you are getting and trying to get them to see, and you have to be patient and let them know that everything is a process. First, you got to get the weeds out the garden. All the bad weeds. Y'all got to work through that. And it shouldn't be one-sided. Women, men who have been touched, don't make the person in your life do all the work. You got to do the work to get the weeds out the garden together. If y'all on the same page, you know, this is who you want, this is who you want to be with. Get in your garden. Maybe he got some stuff in his garden. Get those roots out together. That's protection. And then you water it. That's the love. And then, as it grows, it's a process. That's the understanding. Have a good day.